the fire is blazing so bright, calling the fight from the islands. We stand from dawn to twilight. The empire's rise and conquer. In the wild face of danger, carry on to the victory. You better take a deep breath. Each dawn it brings a bitter fight. Another chill may run down your spine. Fear lurks beyond the edge of sight. Carry on to the glory, to the great victory. Never give up till you die. Never give up in this life. For every word that you win bright, it's time to become. Never give up on your mind. Hold your weapons, strive and fight. For every kingdom that falls and rise, it's time to become legendary. Chaos for sharpening your knife. Make way to find your destiny. Worship a man or a shrine. Can both recall a scattered. In the wild sound of war drums, tearing down all the enemies. You better capture the arcs. The carriers may bug you down. Set up for the swift is right. Sneaky Texas work as your best alive. Carry on to the glory, to the great victory. Never give up till you die. Never give up in this life. For every word that you win bright, it's time to become. Never give up on your mind. Hold your weapons, strive and fight. For every kingdom that falls and rise, it's time to become legendary. Across the oceans, stories will be told. How you struggle, how you try to define the world. With a sacred name, you are the one chosen to start up the storm. Never give up till you die. Never give up in this life. For every word that you win bright, it's time to become. Never give up on your mind. Hold your weapons, strive and fight. For every kingdom that falls and rise, it's time to become legendary.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Rise of Kingdoms official channel. This is the 2024 Rise of Kingdoms Global Champions Grand Prix. I am your host, Dirty Dan Gaming. And today we enter the upper brackets, the first matches of the upper brackets in week 3 of our Grand Prix tournament. Today we are going to be featuring GY16 versus 21YL. I've had the pleasure of being able to cast all of GY16 matches so far in this tournament, and my oh my, do they live up to their reputation. 3-time grand final champion and a Chinese Grand Prix champion back in 2022. These guys are kind of the Chinese server equivalent of, I would say, like the 93Ts and the 60 GTs that we see in the international servers. GY16 doing a really good job week to week. They do kind of look like 93T in my opinion. They're just very fundamentally sound, and they kind of do all the right things, and their timings are almost impeccable. And then on the other side, we have 21YL, who has made it into the Grand Prix from being a top 4 finalist in the realm of horse in the Chinese server, and they are considered to be the 3rd strongest team from the Chinese server. So you have GY16 as probably about the predicted number 1 rank, with against 21YL as the 3rd ranked team. 21YL actually having a really nice run in these Grand Prix so far, winning by probably an average margin of about 10,000 points. And I think that's probably the highest that we are seeing so far from a week to week basis. So I'm looking for a really, really intense match between these two Chinese server teams. Again, this is in the upper bracket. So this is not a winner go home match. So I'm looking maybe potentially for a little bit of trickery, right? So whoever advances from these matches today, I believe is going to have a little bit of a break. So GY16 21YL playing now 732A against 466S, going to be playing in the match after this on a different stream hosted by Plato and Brian. The winner of these two matches are going to get about a 3-week break, as then we will shift total focus onto the lower bracket. So kind of a lot on the line here. Maybe some trickery at play, maybe not. Maybe they decide to play it safe and kind of stay home to the strategies that they're used to implementing. I know that if I was in this situation, I would really like a 3-week break, and that would allow much more time to practice. And also it gives you all that time, all that downtime to kind of really like focus and key in on the lower bracket and see what these teams are doing, right? You don't have to worry about these matches for the next few weeks. You really get to take your mind off the pedal for a little bit. And now you get to do a little bit, go into scouting mode, which I think is crucial in any kind of tournament format, that you are going to have access to reviewing tape and reviewing footage on these teams. So look for maybe we get some trickery. I know that we saw last week, it was, I forget who it was, but someone made a really bold play on the beginning obelisk, kind of like an all-in play, which kind of costed them a match a little bit. But those are the things that you are going to be able to do when you are playing in this top bracket and you have the losses that you can kind of afford, right? So this is definitely going to be look to be really spicy going into this third round week. Excuse me. Again, next matchup, we're going to have 732A going up against 466S. And 732A is going to really look to kind of keep that momentum that they have, knocking off 60 GT, then going in and knocking off 27 WP, who we actually casted yesterday in a very tight match. 27 WP playing against their inter-kingdom teammates against 489, and that one went right down to the wire, as 489 was able to snake that one out. In the same token, 93T on that match that I casted with Plato, just having like probably the best match that I've seen in this Grand Prix so far. So I think the standard right now in my eyes is what 93T was able to do yesterday against GV77. If anyone missed that match, be sure to go back and check that one out, because it was definitely something to behold. As we're kind of just winding down a little bit to get into these matches right now, let me see. And we should be able to get in. All right, here we go. Top side, we have GY16 coming in, the Chinese server powerhouses, against the number 3 ranked 21YL in the red. This is going to be a very interesting match for sure. I'm going to look for at least one of these teams. I think GY16 potentially, with being kind of the powerhouse that they are, maybe looking to set the tempo a little bit. We've seen a few times in these Grand Prix now that a little bit of an overload on one side, and we kind of saw it yesterday a little bit with GV77, I believe it was. I could be mistaken. A lot of these matches now, guys, are starting to kind of jumble together because we've been kind of casting so much, but we have started to see teams take the approach where they're kind of over indexing on one of these inner lanes, right? So whether that's going up for their enemy desert altar or over indexing down here to get the secure hold on their own desert altar. But in that same light, we've seen teams like 93T really take advantage of these outside lane plays and really harassing the outside lanes. And why these are so important is because, especially when you're winding down for your first mid-arc fights, this is really going to kind of have the question in mind for your opponent. If they are able to take one of these outside lanes, do you want to commit and go back and take them? And then if you do, now you're going to have a longer march to get back over into mid. So not something that I think we generally seen from the Chinese server teams. I do want to say from watching GY16 for the past 3 weeks now, it would be from this week, they do like to prioritize this shrine. So I've seen them on the bottom side in red going for the Shrine of Life up here. I would like to see them do the same thing here on this Shrine of Life. And one thing to keep in mind, because everything is on an even playing field on these matches, these shrines actually do have a little bit more value, having the health buffs, having the march speed buffs, especially when you're going into your mid fights. You want all the buffs that you can get. Again, all the playing fields are totally level here. Same commanders, same equipment, same armaments, so the stats are pretty even all throughout as the gates open and we see energetic being used from GY16. Hidden sentries being placed in their traditional Chinese server setups here from 21YL. This is something that we see a lot of from the Chinese server teams. It looks like GY16 is going to opt not to use that sentry in that same spot, in the traditional spot. It looks like they're going to place it a little bit more forward here, not right on the gate. So trying to see if potentially 21YL is going to over index a little bit on that top side. So they can actually see both on both ways on which they're going. And then if we can take a look at what 21YL is being able to see here, I think this sentry here might be a little bit of an indicator of how many troops GY16 is going to potentially send to this outside lane. Maybe making a call, 21YL, and deciding they want to go for this outside structure here on the Sky Altar. As we'll go back to both views. So we can kind of see a little bit already here. 21YL looking to make a play on their home Sky Altar, trying to secure that. Looks like they are splitting up their forces to some extent there. And so far, a pretty traditional opening, nothing too crazy. And I think last week what we saw in 60 GT in the 489 match, which was a little unconventional, is I think it was 60 GT that sent a pretty sizable murder ball up here to try and sandwich on this backside Desert Altar rotation. So they had a small contingent of troops coming up here straight up to the Desert Altar, and then they had another smaller murder ball here to potentially catch 489 off guard. But again, looking pretty standard and traditional here. And again, 21YL with a nice sentry placement here, knowing that GY16 is going to be sending some troops on this outside lane for that Sky Altar. So maybe not much of an assault that's going to be going on there from the side of 21YL. And they might look to stay home to secure that capture of their Desert Altar. Skill usage is on the map. Here you go, GY16 with energetic. No energetic being used from 21YL, so that is a good call out there. Usually we will see teams mirror the energetic play to start the match. As both murder balls are looking to form, 21YL taking a little bit more of an outside approach here. And that murder ball is going to get sniffed out purely from this rally. And we get a Herman rally here, looking to get some archer troops who are infamously slow. I would be expecting a cancel here, as they can now see this murder ball. Maybe a little bit too late on that cancel now. And you can see the switch up here. GY16 taking that murder ball that was supposed to go to the Sky Altar and now committing it to that full defense on their home side Desert Altar. Murder ball on the bottom side, both staring each other down. And we're going to get the first clash up here on the top side. Let's see if that move from GY16 pays off to pull back some troops there from that Sky Altar assault. So opting to leave the Sky Altar, that is the home structure for 21YL, so they can totally live with it. And this tells me a little bit here too that the teams are going to probably play a little bit relatively safe, right? You're getting a 3-week bye on the line here. The winner of this match is going to go off and go on and have a few weeks off, as it looks like that move does pay off for GY16. And we're going to go and check out that bottom side murder ball, which has yet to engage, as it does now. So can GY16, looks like they're probably going for a nice push down here on GY16. Best defense is a good offense here, trying to dissuade some of these 21YL troops from pushing up onto their Sky Altar. Let's see if this play pays off. Stocking up used by 21YL, so there is an energy development point being used there instead of energetic. Looks like GY16 looking to get 3 altars in hand, as they do sneak inside of the enemy desert altar with the Heraclius inside. I don't think this is going to be a permanent hold, but they're at least going to deny those first occupation points for a little bit. Topside desert altar has swung in the side for 21YL, which is quite interesting. I'm going to pan up here, guys, because GY16 had total field control of this. And I think just sending a little bit too much troops down onto that Shrine of War. Again, GY16 really kind of favoring the play on the shrines. And a really nice sneak attempt here from GY16. Again, I don't think this is going to hold, as you have a pretty nice amount of troops here for 21YL swarming this thing down. And then there's energetic being used from 21YL, so a little bit different in terms of what we're used to seeing for energy development. And a lot of blue on the map. 2 altars in hand for 21YL, 2 altars in hand for GY16, all 4 shrines in hand for GY16 here. So very nice play to open this thing up. GY16 is going to definitely look to get this thing back quickly. That should flip now. There we go. So 3 altars in hand for GY16 as the desert altar. Can they get the hold here? Cavalry marches racing for their lives to get into this desert altar. A minute that they're going to have to hold here, as it looks like it is getting some kind of reinforcements. I don't know if it's going to be enough. It looks, and here comes the rally. I think that's going to be that'll be the cherry on top here, as we are 5 minutes away from the first arc spawning. And if we've learned anything from watching these Chinese server teams, they do not mind the late rotations. GY16, kind of one of those teams who likes to opt for the provisions and for opting for provisions and for occupation game. The thoughts on the late energetic. I don't know. That is kind of a good question, because they didn't open up with the stocking up right away, right? So, and which makes sense, because you're not going to be gathering from the get-go anyway. So I'm curious of why there wasn't the energetic play and then the stocking up, as it looks like even provisions haven't started to come in, and stocking up, I believe, lasting for 10 minutes. So you can correct me there if I'm wrong, chat, but we do see mid rotations starting to occur. Map looking fairly even now. Actually, it is even. First occupation point still waiting to come in from this topside desert altar and the bottom side desert altar. So pretty even playing field here. I think you'll maybe look to see stocking up. No, looks like they're gonna go for an interesting play here. interesting play here to leave that node. I guess this is a node that they have marked. So one thing that we were doing in while I was prepping for my last Osiris League that I was a part of, not this last one, but 2 Osiris Leagues ago, when we first got introduced to Fog of War, is finding the nodes. And with this one being so close, you find the node and then you post it into a chat. That way you have those nodes saved. So since that one is relatively close to the city, you can go off and kind of wander and go and shoot for and hunt for a couple other nodes here. And we're seeing a pretty big commit here from both teams, which I think is a little bit uncharacteristic from what I've seen from the Chinese server teams. A huge commit going in for both teams here. Dust Up being cast by GY16. Sentries being placed here. Defensive sentry for 21YL. GY16 opting for the Jones Scout instead of a sentry. Positional advantage looked to be in favor for GY16 as they sit on the Temple of Osiris. We might be getting a to the death on this first mid-arc fight here, guys. As we see down here, GY16 Sky Altar under a little bit of pressure. Sneaky tactics being used by 21YL. Expect a split up here, I would say. Hidden Sentry being used by 21YL now. First occupation points for the home desert altar of 21YL coming in. No split up from the sneaky tactics contingent. I think the stocking up play is going to come into effect on this next arc, and I'm just going to go ahead and check real quick. It does look like 21YL, they do use stocking up quite a bit, so I have not been able to catch some of their matches, so I'm not sure of how they use this, but I'm pretty sure that stocking up is going to be a play for the second arc. Sneaky tactics in response from GY16. So there is to the death on the board for 21YL. No to the death on the board, I believe, for GY16. A minute until arc spawns, and here we go. There it is, to the death for 21YL. Heaven's Grace in response from GY16. These teams have done their homework. They know exactly what one another was thinking. Let's go to the zoomed out view here as we get into our very first heated mid-arc fight. You can kind of see that one coming with the huge commit that both teams are doing. This is looking pretty even right now, chat. What are our thoughts? Who do we got winning on this match, guys? GY16 or 21YL? Let us know in the comments, in chat. Starting to look rather blue here. Heaven's Grace might be the play here. Remember, to the death, you lose out on that value when you're bringing so many troops to the field because it's only going to hit 30 marches, and it looks like GY16 is going to prevail in this first mid-arc fight. Huge mid-fight here. To the death, to no avail for 21YL. GY16 wins this one handily, and now we're going to get a very nice rotation. Somewhat healthy-ish maybe as well for GY16 going on to that desert altar. It's going to be very interesting to see now. I don't know if that stocking up play is going, it's going to be tough because now you have sneaky tactics on the board. You can probably assume that there's dust up and then probably bog down. That's 5. Bog down would put you at 9 points. The stocking up play here probably doesn't even help all that much. Desert altar in hand for 21YL, so 3 altars in hand for them. To go to points per minute, 510 points per minute for to GY16's 380. And provisioners not really out on the field for GY16, just a couple on the field for 21YL. And you see the nice rotation going on here for GY16 onto that desert altar. I think this little open field might get wiped, but I would like to see a rally coming in as it is. And we got a Justinian Nevsky. Yesterday we were seeing a lot from 489, the Justinian Attila, which does make sense for a couple reasons. The counterattack damage that you're getting, obviously making it a little bit more anti-swarm. And then you have the very nice skill on Attila, which is going to debuff the defense of a stronghold as it's rallying it, or as it's attacking it, I should say. So I stand corrected. A very nice clearing of the field here for GY16. Rally hitting on the altar. So this looks to be a really nice rotation for GY16. So not only are they getting the arc, but looking to come away with an altar on top of it. So we'll go up to this top side as GY16 was able to reobtain their home desert altar. Murder Ball starting to form for 21 Wild as they look to get that back. And you could see this outside, this rotation for GY16 even going all the way up to that sky altar. So preparing a little bit of a defense and then also sending an allotment of players to the topside sky altar. And I'm curious if probably GY16 is probably going to look to hold on to this arc as they're kind of in complete control here. They do flip that desert altar in favor, 3 altars in hand for GY16, 350 points per minute for them, 330 points per minute for 21YL. And it looks like they will lose that sky altar, so those resources to go in and trade off on the desert altar, this is kind of where that trade-off happened, is on their own sky altar. And we see this nice murder ball here preparing a defense. I really like this. We see this a lot with the Chinese server teams, kind of hiding in the midst here. Those defensive murder balls really getting set. Same equipment, same commanders, same armaments. This is a totally even playing field on both of these teams. So it really comes down to who has a better strategy, who has a better micromanagement when it comes to selecting troops, targeting, who has a better voice coordination. Hey, you go here. Hey, this team, this team's doing this. How do we respond? Let's do this. There's a lot more that goes into this than just the general strategy, because I think a lot of times, guys, we kind of get caught up because you kind of see a lot of the same strategies, at least from the international servers. And really what it comes down to is kind of the communications, right? And we are seeing a little bit of wrinkles in the strategies from this Grand Prix, thanks to these Chinese server teams really kind of throwing in a couple different things that we don't really see on the international server. But even still, right, you can have the best strategy, but if you're not, selecting the proper troops to target in the field, or if you are not coordinating properly on voice. I think we've seen that a couple times with some teams who just, you can kind of see a little bit of hesitation in their movements, and some people not really knowing where to go. And I think that's attributed to the communications that we obviously don't know happen on these voice calls. A nice take back here from 21YL on their desert altar, 3 altars in hand for them. Arc is being held by GY16. It's going to be very interesting to see. GY16 not really opting for the provisions. We know that the provisions are going to be in play for 21YL with the stocking up, and I believe they're going to want to return some of those troops back. I can't remember the duration of stocking up. I believe it was like 15 to 20 minutes, as we do start to see provisioners starting to come out now for GY16, as you usually do that occur after the first mid arc fights. GY16 able to take back their home sky altar as they look to put pressure on the enemy sky altar of 21YL. But it looks like 21YL is going to handle that open field nicely and just swarming down this solo rally here. And we're going to get the rotation going up onto the Shrine of Life for GY16. A couple marches splitting off here, getting into a murder ball for an assault onto the desert altar of GY16. (21YL) coming up with the Justinian Nevsky rally again, I believe. Yes. And you can see that murder ball from that sky altar rotation coming down. GY16 kind of sniffing it out. As we can see the Julius in the open field. You got to use what you got to use, right? These are typically going to be used as your reinforcement marches. As you can see, the Julius and the Frederick. But this is a little bit with the micros, right? So like optimally, you probably don't want to have that Julius out in the field fighting like that. You want to be controlling your marches and maybe set some presets and have this Julius parked somewhere over here while the other 4 marches that you have go out over here to fight in the open field. So small optimizations that can be made, but GY16 not really needing it so far, as they are in this lead. The true score being 11,300 to 8,300. This is a dead even match right now if it wasn't for that first arc. There's a very, very nice attack here on the desert altar of GY16 as it falls. So that's again there where that Julius March could have come in handy. Don't really want to be using it in the open field to attack, so you have about 400,000 troops there that you can stuff into an altar, and that makes a huge difference when you're trying to get a hold on that. GY16 being a little bit of the favorite here in the Auric betting realm, as we see some chat with a lot of I've seen a lot of bets on 21YL. Similarly, I took the same approach yesterday and put a bunch of my, I don't want to say a bunch, I went all in on 27WP. I've been going all in from week to week on these matches, and I have yet to hit one. HJK losing out last week, and then 27WP losing out this week. So I'll hit one eventually, but I am going for the home run plays as some of you guys are here today, with GY16 being the favorites on the Auric bettings. And a nice rotation going up for GY16 here on an attack on the home sky altar of 21YL. Lots of action going on here. Open field murder balls here as they fight for control. Probably I would expect a rally coming down here for GY16. Attack going on the sky altar of GY16 with the Scipio rally. I think this defense is going to hold for them. And we're going to pan down to that desert altar attack on the on that open field murder ball. As you can see, the rally coming into frame here. 21YL looking to clear the field a bit. Let's get a better view. Looks about even, which is kind of the tail of the tape on this match so far. I mean, if you're looking at the score, it's pretty much dead even, with just only a 400 point gap in favor of 21YL. Arc is in hand, 5.5 minutes until GY16 has to cash that thing in, as the Henry rally comes down onto the field looking for the attack on the desert altar. 21YL having a nice defense kind of set up here. And everything on the map looking relatively kind of tame. Everyone holding their structures, everyone kind of staying home. You can see another one of those murder balls on the top of the screen here as they fight for control. GY16 definitely wants to look to kind of close that gap a little bit here and at least take the desert altar and deny some points for a few minutes from 21YL. You gotta think of where this energetic play is going to come in handy for 21YL, to the death being off the board here. And it looks like a good defense for 21YL to thwart the attack from GY16. Looks like the Sky Altar is under some pressure from a rally that is about to go down. So these teams are looking really even, chat. I mean, you can just see it here. Attack, defense, you know, kill off troops, rotate. Both teams right now are kind of firing on all cylinders. The only difference was that pure domination from GY16 in that first mid-arc fight, where Heaven's Grace and Dust Up proving to be the counter to the sneaky tactics and to the death. As it looks like we're going to get another successful hold here from GY16, as we're going to have to go up to the Shrine of Life here, as this is the only other thing that's under attack. And GY16 sizing up for a nice attack on the Sky Altar of 21YL. No rally coming into frame just yet. Let's go ahead and get a little zoomed out view. This might be the most even match that I've seen. We saw a pretty even match yesterday with 27 WP and 489. 27 WP kind of coming out a little bit slow, but kind of collecting themselves as we go down to this bottom side Sky Altar. Rally is about to hit for 21YL. Not much open field presence here, so both teams doing a really good job of prioritizing the open field, clearing that. A lot of these times, these rallies, chat, with what the main purpose is to kind of tank a lot of that main damage that is going to be taken, and kind of keep that survivability factor a little bit more for the swarmers. So we even saw yesterday a few times where teams were just kind of letting those rallies go. They weren't swarming the rallies down. And a nice defense here from GY16. Another murder ball formed up here in between the Shrine of War and Desert Altar. And we can see go back up to that top side attack here. GY16 trying anything that they can, but both of these teams just doing a really, really good job of just defending each other's attacks. Like this is honestly quite beautiful. This is quite beautiful to watch. This is very crisp Ark of Osiris gameplay right here, chat. A minute and a half until Ark has to be cashed from GY16. 93T did win yesterday in a dominating fashion. I think if you look back on the scores so far, that 93T I think beat GV77 by the largest margin that we've seen so far in this Grand Prix. So 93T yesterday, looking at probably one of the best matches I've seen in this Grand Prix, and this one is shaping up to be just that as well. Only a 500-point gap as we're halfway through this match, and that's all you need to know. Like that is how close both of these teams are, as we'll get a look at the provisioners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 provisioners. This looks to probably be a passive provisioner here. 6, 7 on the field for 21YL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 on the field for GY16, so just a little bit more, it seems. And again, both teams not having any success on any of these attacks. Ark has to be cashed within the next 10 seconds. There it goes. Battle of the Farmer, or honestly, now GY16 showing the true score, 15,600 points to 13,000. 21YL does have some room to make up here. The next arc, I think, is going to determine this match. Since both provisioners are even, occupation games are proving to be pretty even as well. As I actually kind of want to get a look at the occupations. They're dead even. Dead even, chat. I have not seen this in quite some time. Occupation scores being this close to one another. As we see on this top side here, an attack from GY16 on the Sky Altar of 21YL. Rally is now coming into frame. Next arc, in my opinion, is going to be the determining factor here. We're going to get down to about 21 minutes. Arc will spawn. Let's assume a minute or so until arc, a minute or two. That'll bring us down to 16 minutes. You can hold for what, 15. Next arc is going to determine the match. Next arc will determine the match as we get yet another defensive hold here. I feel like I'm watching for those American fans or any American football fans or even any sports fan, when you have a team that just locks in defensively. I think a lot of times in sports we like to see scores kind of like, we like to see all like the thrilling plays, like we like to see the touchdowns, we like to see the goals. We like to see really high scoring basketball matches, or although not that high. But this is looking to be like kind of like a slow burn here where both teams just playing almost kind of like extremely defensive. And I don't even think it's an attribute of like, hey, like let's play. I think these teams are just so evenly matched in the field. A lot of stylistic similarities, meeting each other in the open field, clearing the field, trying to again clear out the swarmers as the rallies come in. I have to say, I think the one thing that can probably help both of these teams is just having a little bit of a better timing on the rallies, right? So I don't think I've seen a really good kind of rally and swarm. And I think GY16 is trying to maybe do a little bit of that here, saying, hey, we're kind of taking this approach here where we keep kind of ramming our heads together in these kind of midpoints. So I think GY16 now trying to opt for a little bit of a different maneuver and maybe sending a player or two. And here, look, in this case, it looks like one player just off to the side and maybe trying to come in a little bit later. This is a barn burner. I don't think I've seen a defensive arc match like this ever. Yeah, here's what I mean. The timing on the rallies I think could be a little bit cleaner. I think that would probably enable one of these teams to potentially flip one of these structures as we have a couple structures blinking here. I think this one is probably going to be okay, and this is probably that second attack coming in from GY16 here, as it looks like 21YL is going to get a successful hold on this desert altar yet again. Nice presence up here for GY16. This attack might actually go in their favor. We're probably going to see this is, I think, going to be the first flip since those since everything kind of stabilized. And again, a little bit of a late rally, but better open field presence on the side of GY16 as they do flip the Sky Altar finally, taking about 30 minutes to do so now. And as we go out here, sky view, starting to see those mid-arc rotations. Again, I think this is going to be an all-in play here in a way. I'm trying to think if in a scenario where it makes sense for GY16 to maybe not show up, they might take the approach here of going a little bit more structure focused. But I gotta say, although it's been quite even, 21YL was able to kind of close that gap a little bit here. Provisioners coming in, So 2,000 points of provisions being cashed. That's why our score has kind of shrunk a little bit. So we're about 1,100 point differential here now, as it looks like they have recalled probably a majority of their farmers for that stocking up skill. I don't know if the first stocking up really did anything for them there. This is going to be interesting. GY16 is yet to recall their farmers. I'm curious. I don't know if the stocking up play is going to work here, because they use to the death. They're going to have sneaky tactics. I don't know what other skills. Maybe Heaven's Grace. They can use 2 4-point skills. So I guess maybe they have Bogged Down in Heaven's Grace with the sneaky tactics. Dust Up being used by GY16. I would say maybe that would be the play. The Bogged Down in Heaven's Grace does look to counter to the death pretty well. So that might be what's at play here. I think we're going to get a sneaky tactics with a Bogged Down into a Heaven's Grace, because that's the only way that you would exceed 10 points. And that's why teams have kind of chosen to go for the stocking up method, because it gives you more than 10 points for the mid-arc fights. Okay, there's Dust Up being used from 21YL. So maybe, okay, so no, there's not going to be 2 4-point skills being used. I'm kind of lost here, chat. I'm not sure where the stocking up strategy is coming into play. Maybe they're looking to use on the back end after this arc fight to utilize some skill usage, but I don't understand it. I would expect it to the death here from GY16, as we can see that 21YL is down their Shrine of Life, so no march speed for them, no health buff, which is pretty massive considering that they're probably going to get to the Death Dawn right now. 30 seconds until arc spawns. A Dust Up in play for both teams right now. Sneaky tactics being used by, and then there's Heaven's Grace to the death being used for GY16 to the, and then also Heaven's Grace. I don't think this is going to be in favor of 21YL right here, chat. I think the heavy use on economy skills is going to prove to be the difference in this match. Let's get a little bit of a zoomed out view here as you look at the sad face train starting to go for both teams, looking pretty even here. Arc has spawned. Who's going to get a pull on it? It is GY16 with the first pull. And that mid fight is starting to turn rather blue rather quickly. 21YL not having any luck here. This is a win. Oh, 21YL snaking the arc a little bit, but a huge presence from GY16 in the middle. Unless they have the fastest march ever, which, and going right into the murder ball. That arc is going to drop rather quickly. And I think that might be the game, everyone. GY16 now, all they have to do is hold on to this arc. They have a 1,500 point lead here. So now the question is, how can 21YL get back into this match, chat? Is there a way? There has to be a really sizable call to go all in on your provisions here. I honestly don't see a way that 21YL can get back into this match with just how even it's been. There hasn't been much done on the occupation front as we go here. 640 points per minute for GY16, 510 points per minute for 21YL. Occupation points being almost dead even, only a 400 point difference. 2,200 points of provisions already being cashed for 21YL. As you can see here, they don't have any. They're starting to send out their provisioners now. but I just don't see a way for 21YL to come back from this. I think the heavy economy skill usage here did not play into their favor. Against another team, right? And I called on it, right, from the from some of these metrics that we have here. 21YL winning both of their matches leading into this match by an average point score of about 10,000. 93T yesterday putting up probably the highest differential that we've seen in this Grand Prix so far, but 21YL I think proving to be pretty dominant in the way that they've been able to handle some of these teams. And I think with the double economy skills being used in both of those matches, Stocking Up and Energetic being used, and I'm just trying to get a gauge here. So occupation scores being pretty even in their first match against 63S, but then kind of running away with occupation score last week against 261K. I'm really questioning the double economy skill usage. I'm not sure where the advantage comes in there, as they are able to flip the Sky Altar. So that is going to be step one that they're going to need to do. They're going to need to get a full 4 altar control here, or 4 altar swing. You would generally like to see at least one of those altars start to generate some points for them at some point, but 3 altars currently in hand for 21YL as GY16 looks to defend their home desert altar here from an attack. I don't think there's going to be a last arc. They're actually, if GY16 opts to hold this, which they don't, GY16, oh no, wait, they dropped it. Oh, I was like, they cashed the arc. Oh my gosh. Look, they're gonna hold the arc. They're gonna cash it. It's 3,500 points. True score right now is gonna be 26,300 points to 21,300 points. So you're looking at a 5,000 point difference right now in favor of GY16. They're gonna hold on to the arc. There's no way that they cash that and have 21YL have any glimmer of a comeback here from scoring a 3rd arc. 30 seconds until the Sky Altar starts to generate points for 21YL. And it looks to be a good hold, but it's going to fall eventually. Rally's now coming in. That is a baby step. I mean, look, you have to think here, for every time an altar flips, you're losing out on 300 points of generation, right? Actually, no, a little bit more. You're losing out on 600 points of generation, because it's going to take you 2 minutes that you're losing it, considering it takes the full 2 minutes to get it back. But you're losing at least 300 points. Let's just put it that way. So that is a step that 21YL has to take here, as they're putting some pressure on this topside desert altar. And GY16, I think, just gonna kind of go into a little bit of a turtle shell here and just play full defense. They honestly could do that. GY16 now is in the driver's seat so much that they literally don't even have to put another attack onto another structure of 21YL. And we'll see if that is the case. Not down here on this side, at least, and actually not up here either. So they really don't need to attack at all anymore. YL doing a good job on that home desert altar of GY16. Rally in hand, Justinian Nevsky. That's another kind of key difference that we need to call out here from these two teams. 21YL opting for the Cav rallies and the Justinian Nevskys, while GY16 kind of favoring the infantry rallies a little bit more. And a nice take here from 21YL, but I think this is going to flip right back up. Note they get the Eleanor in. GY16 using Dust Up. And here again, chat, like, you use stocking up. You should have more ability to use skills throughout the match, but even here, GY16 just throwing up a random Dust Up to affect the field of play. And no response from 21YL. I think the main thing here is the skill usage, as the lead is still holding at 1,500 points here for GY16. This is a good hold for 21YL. I do have to admit, this is a good hold here. This is exactly what they need to do. They do kind of need to get a little bit of point generation out of some of these altars as well, but denying points in the fashion that they've done so far on this desert altar and that bottom side sky altar is exactly what they need to do. Looking around for some action, GY16 with a small attack here on the desert altar of 21YL. Don't think that's going to lead to anything here. And then as we go up top, yeah, let's get a look at the provisioners here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 provisioners in the field for 21YL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 provisioners in the field for GY16. Will that provisioning difference pay off? 21YL still has quite the uphill battle here, in my opinion, as they look to clear some field here as they await that rally onto the desert altar. Dust Up being used from 21YL finally. I would say if you are GY16, you're gonna want to look to cash this arc soon, simply because you know there's no master strategist, you know there's a sneaky tactics, and you don't want to get sniped. Right? You don't want to get sniped over here. This thing is pretty safe, and again, that's purely extremely precautionary, but they will probably look to score this arc soon. Yeah, anytime you see a commander with the support tree in the open field, especially in these arc matches, it's because of the march speed. That's why you see a lot of Jones in the field as well. And your support marches will be generally a little bit tankier, but honestly, I think you want to opt for the skill damage here a little bit. It's really more so for the march speed. 1,000 point difference here, so they are closing it little by little with some provisions here, as this was a 1,500 point difference. So they've closed it to about 1,000 now, closing it into a little bit at 900. So some provisions kind of slowly trickling in here. $3,500 points on the board for GY16 because of the arc that is in hand. If 21YL is able to pull this off, I think we can officially coin this as the farming Grand Prix. We saw about 2 or 3 upsets last week of last minute provisionings winning matches, and we might have another situation here on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be quite interesting. Points per minute in favor of GY16 right now. Really favoring on these shrines here. Shrine flipping might prove to be the difference. Occupation scores dead even 18-point difference on occupation. Oh my lord. 4 minutes until arc needs to be cashed. Good defense here from GY16. And good pressure being put on here on the Sky Altar from 21YL, but a pretty good defense here as well. I think GY16 is going to hold on to us. Let's go down here as GY16 has a huge murder ball down here on this desert altar, and this is what you want to see when you're fighting for structures, getting that open field advantage on the position, waiting for your rally to come in to start the swarm on the altar. 21YL fell asleep a little bit over here, or perhaps over indexing on this Sky Altar, trying to reclaim control here, while GY16 doing a very nice job on the defense of their home Sky Altar and putting tons of pressure on 21YL on the home desert altar on this bottom side. Sneaky tactics being used by GY16 right down here on this attack. Ooh, you can't see the rally. That's pretty nice. If it could stay cloaked, can't target the rally while it's hitting the structure. And GY16 putting a very nice attack on this desert altar here. It's getting chunked quite a bit. Good reinforcements coming in from 21YL. They cannot afford to lose any structures right now. And as I say that, both shrines, sorry about that. Both shrines have fallen out of control for 21YL. So small differences being made there. Arc has been cashed. We now see our true score, 31,400 points for GY16, 26,700 points for 21YL. Can they make the comeback, chat? 3,400 point difference for GY16 in favor, as they are able to flip the home desert altar of 21YL, and that is exactly what you don't want. As we're closing in on 7 minutes left on this arc, on this match, no third arc is going to spawn. 2,700 points worth of provisions, so they are starting slowly cashing in some of these. 700 points of provisions for GY16, as they're going to look to start to call in their provisions in the next few minutes. This is looking to be really much in favor for GY16, as the desert altar not even being attacked yet. Sneaky tactics being used for 21YL, looking for a play on that desert altar. So rally is coming in here. This is kind of a nice play. Keep those swarmers alive for a little bit longer. I think this one is slowly getting out of reach for 21YL. Let's go ahead and take a look at the provisioners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 coming home. 13, 14 provisioners out for 21YL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming home or leaving. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 provisioners for GY16. An all-in provision call from both teams. This is not looking good for 21YL, as they have cashed in a majority of their points right now. So let's go ahead and assume GY16 has been provisioning since shortly after that first mid-arc fight, starting off with about 5 to 6, maybe one player, then ramping it up to 2 players. I want to assume right now that GY16 is probably going to pop up at least 5,000 points here. So that'll give us a potential true score of 37,000. 21YL on the other hand, already cashing in 2,700 points. We've only seen scores go up as high as 7,000 so far. So let's assume 21YL can creep up to that 7,000 point mark, looking at a true score of 34,500. So gonna be coming short there by about 3,000 points and an arc difference. So doing a little bit of rough estimations here on provision scores as a very, very nice attack coming on here from 21YL onto that Sky Altar here. Huge, massive murder ball. And another dust up being used from GY16. Again, I think this is really coming down to just a little bit better skill usage for GY16. And it's going to be curious to see if 21YL is going to alter that, that strategy a bit, as they are looking to head down into the lower bracket. First arc being lost by 21YL, using to the death, with the proper response from GY16 with the Heaven's Grace. And then come second arc, no to the death in hand. We knew GY16 had potentially had it, using their to the death and clearing the field, securing the second arc, holding on to it and bleeding this thing out. So again, if 21YL does end up losing this match, they are not eliminated. They are going to go down to the lower bracket, where then it will be winner go home scenario. GY16, if they do pull this off, will get a 3-week bye and a chance to rest and relax from the stresses of these matches. And I must add, keeping in their back pocket the affordability to lose a match still. Okay, so both teams of today's matches are playing in the upper bracket, meaning that they are both going to get a bye as they kind of go into like a kind of a semi-final format in that upper bracket, both being able to afford a loss. So be sure to tune in onto the next stream. Plato and Brian are going to be starting up probably right about now. So be sure to tune into their match as we wind this one down to see if 21YL has enough in the tank from the provision perspective. Stuff being used by 21YL. And if you guys are enjoying Grand Prix content, be sure to subscribe to the official Rise of Kingdoms channel. Hit that like button. Consider subscribing to my channel, Dirty Dan Gaming. My link is in the description down below, along with all of our casters. Potentially with Master Strategist. Yeah, Leo. I think that's a good call. One minute left in the match. You can see provisions starting to come home for both teams. Actually, a nice jump up in score here. 21YL creeping up to that 5,000 point mark. GY16 at 3,000 points on provisions. Beer has been eliminated as well. So all of the 916 teams, because Beer was another little group of players from 960. All of the 960 teams have been eliminated from this Grand Prix, and provisions are all but home now. GY16 still with a few out here on the field, and 6,000 points of provision. GY16 is going to come up and almost probably provision about the same amount as 21YL here as well. Yes. Okay, now I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think they were looking for the Master Strategist play here. Yeah, so the timing maybe being messed up a little bit for them. And there you have it. GY16 winning this one handily. And I honestly wouldn't let this score kind of fool chat and for those who are, you know, ARC advocates, because although this is an 8,000 point difference, I mean, the occupation score for the first 40 minutes of the match were all but dead even, pretty much dead even provision scores, and it really came down to these arcs. And I'm really going to be curious to see as 21YL if they are going to kind of go in and switch a little bit of that focus on those skills that they were using. And with that, guys, it's been a pleasure casting this weekend. Again, go ahead and tune into Plato and Brian as they boot up their stream. Hit that like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Love y'all. Thank you so much for the support. I'm out. Peace.